Hello everyone, and welcome to a spectating game of Age of Empires 2. This is a game that I played versus my good friend Demon Machine, and I must first apologise for the resolution. I've actually had to make the window pretty small so that I can record without having much trouble, so you can't actually see much on screen, which is I didn't play like this, but it's the only way I'm really going to be able to record. So here's me in purple. We both played as random civilizations. I am the Spanish, and go over to him. And he is, what was he? I can't remember. Britons. Yes. Just a bit of background information before I really go into commentating on this game specifically. We've played a lot of games. Not exactly sure how many games. Might be about close to 50 at this point. And he's beaten me every time, so it's not a bit of a spoiler to say that he wins this one. Although I think that this is perhaps one of the better games that we've played. This is on Highland, so we've got a river in the middle, and we've got a little bit of shallows there, the travel in between. And this is me. I'm just going to turn the fog of war on. This is me trying to scout the area, finding my sheep. And I always start by building two houses, because whenever I watch, say, for example, Zero Empires, and every person that he contacted pretty much builds two houses straight away. But Demon Machine, I notice he doesn't. He tends to go for one house. And then he goes and kind of spreads them out a bit, like goes a bit further forward. It might just be me, but I always try to focus a lot more on getting the sheep. Focus on the getting food from the sheep. Now, this really annoys me when they split up like this. I try to prevent it, but I don't always succeed. Because the food deteriorates over time, they're always going to end up getting less food overall. But I have a few villagers coming. I think, I've got them set to that one there. Actually, I'm going to speed it up a bit, see if I can. Yeah. That's me trying to scout the area. Now, how are we as players? Well, rank-wise, from the Age of Empires 2 HD leaderboard... Sorry, I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I'm coughing quite a bit. We are both ranked highly, although he's ranked a lot higher than I am. I think it's 175,000 players. I am usually around the 50,000 or 17,000 area, so that's like the top 10%. Whereas he is always around the 4,000, 5,000, so despite me being in the top 10%, he's in the top 3% or so yeah, he's definitely got the advantage there. Going back to my side, you can see it doesn't look like I've scouted as much as he does. And that's mostly because, well, one big reason is that I'm just not as good at the... God, I want to get my bow here. Oh, I remember this. The stupid bow ran away. I hate it when that happens. See, I'm just not as able to... See, hit the bow sometimes. There's me telling him. And he agrees it can be annoying. And it is annoying. And it is annoying that this time they killed it right next to the house. But is someone else building a house? Yeah, I always tend to hit the population limit. Unless I'm playing as Huns, of course, I tend to hit that population limit. See how he's doing. And he's pretty much already discovered his whole area almost. And he's scouting my area. He always scouts my area well before I've even scouted like the entire of my own. And if I can kill a scout, that's brilliant, but usually I can't. And it's usually not worth trying garrisoning all the villagers into the town centre just for that sake. Most of the time it doesn't work, and even if it does, it's still downtime. And looks like I've discovered finally the one access point between the two, and there I can see him building a house. Now, what he does in lots of games, and I also find this really annoying, is he always manages to wall himself in with houses, like build a big wall of houses, and it's really, really annoying because, well, I would do that, but it's just trying to keep a balance of everything. I'm just not as good at the game as to be able to like keep everything in balance. He advances the feudal age just before I do. Usually he advances quite a bit before I do, but it's a bit close that time. See, he's pretty much trapped my scout in with his barracks. So yeah, he's gonna like wall me off here with like barracks and houses and all sorts of stuff. So I'm gonna turn the fuck of war off. So he's gone back to scouting his lower area, and I'm in his base pretty much looking around to see what I can find. And here I am. This is the plan that I had, was to build a watchtower near here so that if he tried to go across, not only would you have a little bit of a palisade wall to get through, but you'd also have this watchtower to deal with. I realised as soon as I built it that perhaps I should have built it a bit further back. I really just wanted to prevent him from getting an early attack in, which is what he always does. He always comes in with loads of archers right near the start, and I just can't produce as fast enough. And see, there's another thing that I'm just not generally as good at, which is using up all my resources. And I'm about to hit the population limit there. Let's see how he's doing population-wise. Oh yeah, he's above me population, and he's got enough houses. So what ends up happening is I end up having like an excess of resources. So say, look, I've got extra wood there. Because it's like I would spend them. It's like I've now learned that I know that I have to spend them faster and more, but I just don't usually have the ability to build everything efficiently. But I'm building some archers here. And of course I've walled myself in, so I can't exactly make full use of them. And am I making more archers anywhere? Not right now, but I do. See, is that another... Oh, there's a blacksmith going up. I tend to forget the blacksmith. I'm like, oh, yeah, blacksmith. And I believe this is another archery range. Yep. And they're all idle. See, I didn't notice at the time. I got a bunch of idle villagers there. Should probably have noticed that. But it depends, I might focus on something else as well. Ah, yes. See, I'm trying to build some houses here to create a bit of a wall, but I end up blocking myself in, which I should have really like moved her out so that I could build them from the outside. But I do end up blocking myself in there. Now, when I say that this is one of the best games that I think we've had, what I'm saying by that is that it's the one where I came, one of the ones where I came the closest to like having an opportunity to actually win, which against Demon Machine is a very, very good thing, because like I've said, I've never won against him since. He thinks that I will beat him soon, but I'm not too sure. Got a couple of idle villagers there. I'm not too sure of that. Let's see what he's doing. Yeah, see, he's already like blocking himself in. Archery range there, and he'll have a... Oh, not yet. Ah, yeah. See, archery ranges and houses blocking himself in. If I go over to his side, and actually... See, yeah, he's got a bunch of archers right in there ready. And in there as well. Here I am building a dock. I thought, well, I don't need to build a dock. But I thought, well, considering that I've blocked myself in here to prevent any quick attacks that he would be planning, I could make use of a dock. And also, look at his resources there, and let's compare them to mine. Yeah, see, wood is a bit higher, because I need to focus on making more buildings. There was one game that we had after this, where it was on Mongolia, and he basically surrounded himself in houses. And is that me population capped again? I believe it is. yeah, and this is where I start building a lot more houses, like preparing for the houses. So usually one thing that happens that really I probably shouldn't do, but it's kind of like a last resort to the fact that if I ever get population capped, I'm always like desperate to build a house and get villages out quicker. So I end up just getting like a few villages and building a house like as quickly as I can. So I usually end up building them in like suboptimal places. So they might be like really close by, like a lumber camp or something. But I actually do get quite a bit. I do wise up a bit with like I need to get someone to work on my houses. Make a few galleys here. Yeah, got 2 docks working on galleys. Let's see how he's do. Ooh, there's a little war going on here. Yeah. And he's advanced to the castle age, which again he always manages to get there. Actually, no, he doesn't always manage to get there before me. What I'm talking about, sometimes I get there before him. And I should perhaps build a closer lumber camp, but I'm not focused on that at the moment, most likely. And what am I doing? Oh, what's going on here? And got a bit of a... Yeah, I'm basically using my galleys whilst I can to take out his buildings, his archery range, since they're not doing anything else. And he's moved all his archers out there to crossbowmen. Let's actually turn the fog of war on. I actually didn't know that he had a bunch of them there, but I could pretty well guess because he's always got a huge army of crossbowmen. But I mean, I can't use these for anything else at the moment, so I might as well use them to take out the archery range, I guess. And I got a few more being created. I mean, I suppose the only downside to doing this is that it makes him aware that I've got galleys. I could hide them, but then if they're hiding, then they're not doing anything, so it's a bit of a trade-off. So I've got that much scouted, and oh, I can see him coming along just there. He's probably sending them down there. Let's turn his line of sight on. And yep, he's sending them through. And do I run away at this point? Or sail away? I probably do. Yeah. He can see that I've got a transport ship. And he's hit the population limit, which is not something that I would expect to happen to him. But I guess, it's something that could happen to anyone. And he's building his town centres. When you hit the castle age, one of the things you got to remember is to build your town centres. And I think I built one there. Need to get my farms reseeded. I built one there right next to the gold, and I've just discovered a couple of sheep there that I might make use of to get some food. And I've got a town centre there. And soon I started building some farms because I realised just how low on food I am. And resource-wise, I'm not really letting it stockpile as much as I usually would, which is good. And these houses aren't being built because the villager that sent up to make them are actually died from a wolf, I think. And yeah, I used a transport ship to drop off a few archers, but it was in vain because, of course, he was more than prepared for it with his crossbowmen. And I do believe the Britons are really good at archery. Building a castle there. Now, he actually said to me in the game before this, that we played, that he doesn't like using castles unless he knows he has to use trebuchets. And oh yes, I got the war galleys here. So I'm pretty much destroying his coastline, in a sense. Not the units, but the buildings. And yeah, so he said to me that he only builds these castles. Then fuck all, back off. He said he only builds the castles when he knows he has to resort to trebuchets. So as soon as I saw the castle, I didn't see it at this point, I saw it once it was built at some point, and then that just made me think to myself, trebuchets are coming. But war galleys can't really compete against crossbowmen, at least not an army of them in the sense, because war galleys are like a slow attack, which are really good against like buildings, but see this, they're just taking out the war galley there, just straight away. If I built, yeah, this is where I started building a bunch of elite skirmishers. And I'm building my university. I'm just trying to remember to build all the buildings that I have to build. Yeah, I've got all these making villagers from my town centre, trying to keep up villager production. And this is where I think this is where I devised my plan of sneaking around the back. But my war guys here, taking out this archery range and this house. Basically slowing them down quite a bit, and score-wise, he's a couple hundred ahead of me, which is actually not too bad. Idle villagers, but of course I didn't notice them at the time. Should probably check for idle villagers a bit more often, and they've just finished building the university. Do I have a monastery at this point? No, I do not. And I don't think I found that relic up there, but I did see a relic there. Oh yeah, I finally got these to build some farms. And I pretty much realised that I can't advance my archers at this point, so I don't really make any more archers, but I've advanced skirmishers, so I've made some elite skirmishers. Probably not ideal in the castle age. There will be more like better units that I could make, but to be honest, I'm really not sure. I could do with some siege, but then again, it's a case of making use of that siege. I can't even remember if I do make some siege. Building a few more houses, because basically, if I've got idle villagers at this point in the game, then one of the things I can do is just build houses, because it's something to do, I guess. If I really can't decide on anything that they're going to do. Actually, looking at his side, because I've not really concentrated much on his side, because, well, I didn't really concentrate much on it. He could do with more lumberjacks on this side, but I doubt he's concentrating on that at the moment. And he's got all these farms here, and all the farms are all like neatly compact together, along with the mill. Whereas what usually happens with mine is that they're not usually as neatly compact. One example being that the house here was actually built like right at the start. And what's going on here? Oh, just me attacking his houses. Have I? Oh yes, I've got a couple of transport ships here. I don't think he can see. No, he can't see them. He's got his docks here. Oh, he does have docks. I don't think I even noticed that. But I've got my transport ships here, and I've got some elite skirmishers and some more elite skirmishers, and a couple of archers, which, you know, I had let them lying around. So this is quite interesting, this bit, because as you can see, I'm slightly taking the lead score-wise. I don't know how accurate that is to say, but this is really interesting because he was not expecting this at all. And I'm advancing the Imperial Age, is he? Oh no, he's advancing the Imperial Age. No, I am, but he's not. And this is really effective because he did not see this coming with all these skirmishers. So he rings the town bell, and I run away with the skirmishers. And I basically move them around the back, take out some more of his farmers. It damages the economy a bit. And I've got to say that I really like how I did this, because I took out quite a few villages, and the villages that you had to send into the town centre, that stopped them producing for quite a while. So I just stood there and started attacking that farm. Let's see what he can see at this point. Yeah, he sends out all his crossbowmen, and he basically takes out all the skirmishers. Does he actually have any extra crossbowmen lying around to do anything? Not really. So if I had the resources, I could have just, I knew they weren't going to last. I could have just let them be, whilst focusing some more units across here to take out this thing here. And I advanced the Imperial Age before he did. And going back to my side, turn the Fog of War back off. And I turned Demoloup off. And he comes out with his siege. He's basically completely annihilated me. So he actually doesn't have that much unit. I mean, he's got the ones that are attacking there, but during that time, I could have, if I was able to, I could have like gone round and attacked. It would have been useful to have like maybe a siege ram to attack this, because I didn't know that he didn't have much going on around here, and also my concentration was on what was going on there. I'm building a few monasteries, and I believe I built one here. Yeah, I built one there because I was collecting a relic. And score-wise, I'm a few hundred ahead, so I'm actually really... At this point in the game, I actually remember this. At this point in the game, I'm really feeling good about myself, feeling that, well, I might have a small chance of winning, because, to be honest, whenever I play Demon Machine, I don't think to myself that I'm going to win. I never think that. I just think... there's a... I've got a chance of lasting so long, and... Well, I think I have like a small chance of winning. I never think I've got a big chance because, well, like I said, I've never won against him before. We usually play on Arabia, and I think at this point I do notice that I'm desperate need for another lumber camp here. But I don't really... But like I said, my concentration is just like on getting everything sorted, but I am quite aware that I desperately needed lumber camp there. Or at least I definitely become aware soon, because I do start building more. And I find that the extra town centres are really good for building farms, because they're another farm collecting point, and I tend to not do much on farms compared to how much he does, I don't think. And he's attacking me. What's going on here? Oh yeah, with his siege. Doesn't last long though, because I've got these. Yeah, these are galleons at this point. And this is when he starts getting out the trebuchets, and I would love to be able to take out that trebuchet. Do I take out that trebuchet? I don't remember. I don't think I do. But these galleons aren't really going to survive, because he's got all these arbalests, and they're gonna completely. Yeah, see, they're gone. So, I knew he was going to do that based on when I saw the castle. I didn't know we had two castles though. Did you turn the fog of war on? See what I can see. Yeah, I can see one castle but not the other. And this is when I do my second attempt at a sneak attack, but he's already prepared. And I figured if I could go around and convert some of his villages, then that would be fine. That would be nice. But at the same time, he's there with mangonels already, like, prepared for me. And in hindsight, what I think I should have done is I should have, like, snuck round. Is snuck a word? Sneaked, snuck, I don't know. Oh, yes, I converted one of his villages. And I'm like, I've got to do something with this villager, so I try to escape, and I'm like, there's nowhere I can go. And then his castle kills me. So I could have perhaps tried to build a few palisade walls around just to get in the way, maybe. I couldn't really have done anything with that one converted villager, but in hindsight I should have come round at the bottom, because I had already taken out a bit of that. Although he would have already been prepared in a way that he's got these houses on view, and he actually doesn't have houses around here, but I wouldn't have known that. What can he see from this end? Yeah, I've got Janissaries going round. How are they compared to his arbalests? Strength-wise, yeah, of course, but I'm being vastly outnumbered, so it really doesn't matter all that much. Then I've got Conquistadors. And this is getting close to the end. Turn Fog of War back off. This is getting quite close to the end. See, points-wise, he's starting to overtake me now. And my transport ship... Oh, not that one. But I remember I even transport ships that are like really low on health, and I wanted to... Oh, no, I'm thinking I'm getting mixed up. That was a different game. But... what farms are going, I can hear. Oh yeah, I built these extra lumber camps, and I've built a castle. There's not much that I can do with castles, but at least if they break through, the castles will do some good in shooting arrows to defend me, somewhat. Let's look at the resources. See, look at my wood, nearly 10,000, and look at his. See, wood 6,000, not incredibly low. But I think, is this where I do start? I think I start building a few siege workshops. Oh yeah, I built a few down here. A few siege workshops. Idle villages. So, I do start building a few scorpions, I think. Although, I kind of, like, with stuff going on here, I can't multitask as well as he can, so... See, easily, I hit the population limit, like the 200 population limit. Whereas I've got the houses, but I'm still quite a bit behind. And yes, game, I know I'm being attacked by him. Attacking the blacksmith, so he's soon to come out, and... I'm researching conscription there, but it's all in vain, because... I'm not even sure if I'm using that term right, in vain. I realise that there's a relic there, so I'll send a monk out from this... I built a monastery here and send a monk out to build it from my house builder, who I think is pretty much useless at this point, because I've hit the population limit. But, yeah, I'm basically being completely invaded here. And I think... Yeah, this is where I start making missionaries, because I am the Spanish. I can make missionaries. But I think I send the gather points out to a certain point where they basically... I mean, I suppose I could have, like, gone and, like, moved them around the back here. But would that really help? Would that really make a difference at this stage in the game? When he's almost completely inside my base? Soon he actually finds the missionaries, I think. I think I actually do try to convert some of his abelisks, but of course he's got so many of them. And I think he notices at this point that they're coming out because he's moved in a bit further. So he's moving up, and I don't think I see this coming. Oh yeah, I'm starting to build a bunch of scorpions, but I really think it's too little too late at this point. But it's really just a case of trying to react to everything and work on everything as fast as possible. And depending on who you're playing against, I mean, if you're playing against someone like Demon Machine, you really have to be, like, aware of everything that's going on. Now, I do feel quite honoured in a way, because he said that, oh, he's got his elite longbowman coming here. And I think, that's where I give up. And so, that was a pretty good game. And... actually, can I switch over to his side? Resource-wise, yeah, he's got a lot of stone and not much gold, whereas I've built up lots of gold. Food-wise, I've got more food than him. Perhaps could have created villages a bit more frequently. I mean, I would have created them all the time if I was able to. And going back to his wood, he's a little bit behind, so wood, yeah, is okay. What are they? Oh, they're trebuchets. So, one of the things that Demon Machine has said is that I am the best person he's played against, in the sense of, well, he says, basically what he tells me is that I've vastly improved, because when I played this game, when I was younger, at school, my friends from school, we weren't really fully aware of the game, so we didn't actually understand, like, all the ins and outs. But playing against Demon Machine here, I've come to learn, like, how he attacks. So strategy-wise, I've gotten a lot better against him. And a lot of the games, it's not like he doesn't mass slaughter me anymore, but he always wins. So I long for the day that I beat him, and he believes that that day will come soon. That's what he says anyway. But just looking at, like, the map, as you can see, I mean, yeah, I know I'm starting to really dig through these trees here and stuff. But just looking, like, through the map, just looking at the sheer like number of like purple space on the map compared to the yellow space, it's not like he had absolutely tons and I had so little, but I was like a real big threat here because there's nothing I could do to counter his attack there. So yeah, this has been a commentary on a game of Age of Empires. And again, I apologise for the low resolution of this, but it's all in the interest of being able to record without it being at a low frame rate, although this might end up being at a low frame rate anyway, and I have to apologise again if it does. But that was fun, and I'll see you all next time.